Hi folks, got a nice wee parcel from Warthogg over in America. If you don't subscribe to his channel, you should go and have a look. He's got some fantastic British, European and American, more historic traditional knives. You know, he tends to buy 20th century knives and things like that. One of which he had on his channel was this Winchester fold. I think it's called Pocket Bowie or something like that. So we're gonna have a little look at that. So anyway, he had one of those, and I liked it, and he said he could get a hold of one for me, and he got me one, and he sent it to me. But also in the package, he also sent this little office knife as well, which I'm really quite taken with. It's lovely. It's a little German-made office knife. I don't know who it's made by, because it doesn't actually say on it. The only things it says is office knife, and then inside it says Germany. But we'll have a little look at both of them separately, I think, because they're quite different. You know, Beauty and the Beast, I think, here. So we'll start off with having a look at the Winchester. Now, this is a seriously big knife. It's in the kind of powder horn toothpick style, but if I compare it to some of the other toothpicks that I've got, I don't have a big collection. I don't have a proper large toothpick. I've got a 3-inch toothpick, a medium 4-inch toothpick. This one is a sort of medium plus. It seems to have got a funny, it's lost its shine. I don't know what's happened to that. I need to give that a clean. So this is the sort of the 3-inch, 4-inch, and this is a 4 and a bit inch. A full 5-inch would be a little bit bigger, but they would all be dwarfed by this. So this is more akin to things like, I have a Buck Alpha Hunter, but even then it's bigger than that. Or I suppose the classic of the larger pocket knife, the Buck 110. But again, you know, this is considerably bigger. If I put them out open, but no matter what you compare it to, this is a serious beast of a knife. I mean, if I do another couple of comparisons, the 940 Osborne, for example, looks really small in comparison. Or my probably most traditional comparison tool is Victorinox Spartan, not Spartan, Pioneer X in this case. But I mean, if you compared it, even the handle's almost as big as the whole knife. It's huge. In terms of real numbers, we're talking very nearly 10 inches overall. Move that light a little bit. That's a bit better. Almost 10 inches overall, 9 3/4 anyway, with a 4.5-inch blade. So this really is a chunk of a thing. In the hand, it really is really nice. It really is a nice, you know, good hold in the hand. Even I've got extra large hands, but even with extra large hands, you know, there's plenty of grip left over whichever way you hold this knife. You know, it's a seriously big work knife. Unfortunately, obviously, it's far too big to be legal to carry in the UK, but it's just a absolute beauty of a thing. Now, Winchester, I don't know who made them. If you go onto Warthogg's channel and get his video on these things, you find out you'll find out a lot more information about it. The other thing, and I did look this up on the internet, you've got this number on the blade, which is 19108, I think. And if you look that up, you can find out a little bit of information about these knives. It's 1095 carbon steel, that much I do know. With this, I think it's jigged bone. It looks like real bone as opposed to a synthetic. It's got a bit of grain in it, and of course you've got the Winchester rifle bullet shield on it. On the blade here, you've got some etching, which says Winchester Cartridge Series. But anyway, I'm really taken with this knife. I think it's a great addition to my collection, and as I say, it's fantastic to have something that makes the Buck 110 and my Buck Alpha Hunter feel small. Anyway, the other part of the package that arrived, which in stark contrast to that, was the little office knife. Now, I really like these sorts of little knives, and I've got a few, and I'm starting to collect more. But if you compare these, main blade size, they're both a clip point blades, but this one is just so little and tiny. In terms of, let's say, crude numbers, we're talking about a blade of just shy of 2 inches, with a cutting edge of about 1 3/4 inches. Overall length when that's open of 5 3/4. Handle length about 3 3/4, give or take. You have a secondary blade on this, which you'd probably be expecting to see a pen blade, but actually you have what looks like a spay blade, and to all intents and purposes it's a spay blade shape, but actually this is what's known as an eraser blade, and the purpose of it is that when you've written something or typed something in your office, being an office knife, and you want to remove it from the paper, you use that blade to scrape it back off again. Now, if I just take that out of the way, I'll just give you some comparisons, because although this, compared to the Winchester, is a tiny little knife, it's not really as small as you'd think. A typical office or pen knife, this one is a George Wistenholme example. This is a Joseph Rogers example, Star in the Maltese Cross, and this is a modern but typical Taylor's Eyewitness example. Now they are all pretty much the same size, which is, I think it's about 3 inches, isn't it? Yeah, 3 1/8, something like that, inches long. 3 1/4, 3 1/8. Yeah, they're all about that sort of length. These are really quite a bit smaller than this office knife. So coming on the back of the Winchester, it looks tiny, but actually it's not a totally diminutive knife at all. In fact, a better comparison for size might be the GEC number 62, which, if you compare them end to end, is almost the same length. This is very, very slightly longer. Now this is the Easy Open pocket Congress, so it's a 2-blade Congress knife. The sort of sway back. So there's a different pattern, but in terms of size, it's more comparable. And the other knife I got out for comparison is not in any way comparable except for the fact they both have paper micarta scales on them, which I just think seems awfully bright. I suppose it's because the knives are white. Just cut a bit of the light out and see if that makes them show up better. It's just a bit overexposed. I'd say you can't really see the. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see the paper in there. It's a bit more obvious with this actually. You can see the pattern of the paper micarta. Funny thing is, or the other reason that these two I've sort of put out together is that this one is a Puma knife, which is also made in Solingen, and this is made in Germany. It doesn't say it's made in Solingen, but you know, it's quite likely that it is. The other difference with the Wistenholm one is the main blade, which funnily enough is kind of on the other end. Oh sorry, because I've got the wrong end, that's why, wrong blade. Yeah, the main blade on all of the other pocket office pen knives that I've got are all spear point blades, but this one is a clip. But in terms of size, although this clip is a little bit wider, the Wistenholm is much longer. Rogers is much smaller, as is the Tailor's Eyewitness. Still, I'm quite taken with this. I like these sorts of knives. I love these little pocket knives. I'd like to get more of them. Tailor's Eyewitness have just brought out some new ones with double bolsters, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to get hold of one of those. So it's a sort of double bolster like this, but in that sort of shape and style with all the nice work back. We'll be doing a video on that one shortly as well. Anyway, so that's a little office knife with the eraser blade and the little drop point blade. And as I say, that came as a gift from Germany on the back. It's the only marking on this blade, if you can read that at all. Anyway, that's the only marking on the blades at all. But it's a lovely little knife and a perfect little gift. And those two arrived together from Rick Warthogg. And I think it only took about 8 to 10 days to get here from America, which was pretty good considering the way things are at the moment. Anyway, so thank you very much for that. If you like this stuff, please feel free to tick the like button and to subscribe, as I will have a number of videos coming up. I'm going to be shooting a few today and they'll be coming up over the next week or so. So thank you very much for watching. Bye folks.